Hello everyone, my name is Anas Subag and today I'm here with my group members Justin, Spiro, Ahmed, Jay, Kevin, and Chris. Today our team will be discussing the topic, is information technology making people smarter? Our group is taking the stance against this statement. Our stance against the statement, information technology makes people smarter, doesn't necessarily mean that we believe information technology is making people dumber. We just believe that information technology can be the cause or play a part in the involuntary inactivity of some cognitive functions in humans. For our purposes, it is important to agree on the definition of smartness or intelligence. The aspects of smartness that we will focus on are memory, thinking capacity, and emotional intelligence. We will first start with how information technology affects our episodic memory. In a trend called the Google effect, in 2011, researchers from Columbia University Harvard set out to investigate how low effort access to information through modern information technology can impact our memory and attention span. Two experiments were conducted to demonstrate that when faced with a challenging question, people with access to the internet would rely on the computer rather than attempting to work through the problem. Studies have shown that 90% of people suffer from digital amnesia. Digital amnesia is the tendency to forget information which we perceive that we will have easy access to again. Also, 70% of modern day parents don't have their children's phone numbers memorized, which is a skill that parents in the past decades possessed. Recently, there is a trend of people handing over responsibility of retaining important information to digital devices. Another study has shown that the average human attention span fell from 12 seconds in 2000 to 8 seconds today. In summary, by allowing people to find the solution to challenging problems without attempting to solve the problems themselves, information technology isn't really making us smarter.
Our next point is how information technology affects our spatial memory. Spatial memory is an aspect of memory that corresponds with activity in the hippocampus and also correlates with intelligence. More recently, researchers from University College London looked at the impact of information technology on participants' spatial memory and observation skills. After monitoring brain activity in 24 volunteers, they were asked to navigate through a simulation of central London. When provided with the GPS navigation system, the researchers found that the regions of the brain associated with planning, spatial awareness, memory retrieval, and simulating future possibilities was switched off. When the volunteers were asked to navigate manually, the researchers noticed increased activity in the hippocampus, a brain region involved in memory and navigation, and the prefrontal cortex, which is involved in planning and decision-making. Like the Google effect, the result of the study suggests that access to information technology can result in reduced effort in solving both simple and complicated problems. This is demonstrated by the reduced brain activity. Thinking capacity. Apart from effects on memory, recent research has also investigated the effect of information technology, specifically smartphones, on cognitive capacity and the allocation of attentional resources. In this day and age, technology has allowed us to stay connected constantly. Although this allows us to connect to the world at the simple touch of a button, it also comes with a cognitive costs such as negatively affecting our thinking capacity. In an experiment, cognitive capacity was tested by manipulating smartphone salience by asking participants to place the phone in 3 different locations. The device was either nearby and in sight, nearby and out of sight, or in a separate room. Working memory capacity and functional fluid intelligence were affected by the presence of the smartphone, even when participants were not using their phones and do not report thinking about them. The figure shows the effect on working memory capacity depicted by the O-span score and the functional fluid intelligence based on randomly assigned phone locations. The desk condition, which depicts high salience, displays the lowest available cognitive capacity as opposed to participants with phones located in other rooms. The experiment proved that available working memory capacity and functional fluid intelligence is constantly interrupted with increasing salience of smartphones. Participants who were engaged with continuous cognitive tasks were able to keep their devices out of their hands and conscious minds. Overall, the result of the study demonstrate that our close relationship with smartphones comes with significant costs in cognitive capacity, with the researchers going as far as to suggest that the mere presence of a phone imposes a brain drain that leaves us unavailable to engage with the task at hand.
Another aspect of intelligence that is hindered by information technology is emotional intelligence. People nowadays have become too accustomed to using their cell phones and computers to communicate with other people. Consequently, this has resulted in people being physically and emotionally isolated and unable to communicate efficiently with each other. This is exemplified through the global widespread of social media. Over the past decade, social media has established its way into shaping our society and the interpretation of the members of society. People are subject to unrealistic portrayals of other people's lives through social media. As such, they're more susceptible to peer pressure, low self-esteem, mental illness, and misinterpretation of interpersonal communication. A field experiment examined whether increasing opportunities for face-to-face interactions while eliminating the use of screen-based media and communication tools improved nonverbal emotion cue recognition in preteens. 51 preteens spent 5 days at an overnight nature camp where television, computers, and mobile phones were not allowed. This group was compared with the school-based match controls that retained usual media practices. Both groups took pre- and post-tests that required participants to infer emotional states from photographs of facial expressions and videotaped scenes with verbal cues removed. After 5 days interacting face-to-face without the use of any screen-based media, preteens' recognition of nonverbal emotion cues improved significantly more than that of the control group for both facial expressions and videotaped scenes. Implications are that the short-term effects of increased opportunities for social interaction combined with the time away from screen-based media and digital communication tools improves a preteen's understanding of nonverbal emotional cues. In addition, another study showed that an internet addict has the same brain activity as a drug addict, wherein regions responsible for processing emotions, regulating attention, and decision-making were crippled. Although there are many benefits that information technology have brought to society, it is important to recognize the negative impacts as well. To support this, we have looked at the Google effect, the effects of GPS usage, thinking capacity, and influence on emotional intelligence. The Google effect shows that tendency for digital amnesia is a result of how easily accessible information is. Spatial memory is negatively affected as inactivity in the hippocampus was seen as a result of using technological devices like the GPS. From experimenting with the salience of smartphones, cognitive capacity was reduced as a result of technological interruptions. Finally, as a result of reduced face-to-face communication due to social media, people have become less perceptive to nonverbal emotions as well as being unable to see reality clearly.